Tell us a little bit about today before we get into our live stream.
What about today?
In general, what stood out about today for you? You have any thoughts about the inauguration before we get into it? How many households do you think got broken up over this inauguration?
What inauguration? There was an inauguration today? All I knew was that it was Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the 39th celebration of it.
See, you could have led with that, but you chose not to. Don't be petty in today's world. Both things can be true. Yes, it is a day that we celebrate Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which I learned a lot about when we went to Memphis and the hotel and everything. He has a really interesting history.
If nothing else, I'm going to be an educator. But the other thing that I want to say is this. Today, many people think or are going to have an erroneous thought that they were, because I'm an educator and I use $10 words. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not going to dumb myself down for
Continue
anybody.
Your thought, ma'am.
Anyway, someone is going to have that erroneous thought that they were off today for an inauguration. Fun fact, inaugurations take place on January 20th every cycle.
Yes.
Right? It just so happened that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is the third Monday of January, so happened to be January 20th, and it was the same day as Inauguration Day. But don't be mistaken, Inauguration Day is not a federal holiday.
I was going to ask, do schools typically have that off?
No.
Okay.
We are off today for Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I remember during the last election, because of everything that occurred, if you were, because I am a federal employee, if you're on my LinkedIn, then you know that people that worked in D.C., they told them, don't go into the office.
Yeah, now that's different. But no, typically schools are open. Now, what D.C. may do is totally different because that's D.C. public schools, and like that interferes with them. But by and large, no. Inauguration Day is not a federal holiday. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is, however. So, yeah.